Once upon a time, there was a village, small settlement with few people and few families. The village was hidden inside the mountains, far away, distant from rest of the people. But in the village, there was a tradition, a strange tradition. Every year, maybe at the beginning of spring, the village have choose one young, fruitful woman, young girl, and take her to this endless pit what was nearby of the village, and they throw away her inside the dark endless pit. And they did it for years, decades, generation, as long as everybody remembered. As was always written, they always did it. But one year, they choose the young girl. And young girl was not agree with that. Of course, she was angry. She didn't want to be thrown away in the pit. And her beloved one was also against that. And they was fighting with entire village, with all that stupid people saying, no, this is stupid. We're supposed to not do that. This is barbaric. We must stop do that. And they succeed. They win. They persuade the village the throwing away young woman at the beginning of spring to endless pit nearby the village is not important and it should not be done. And they persuade them. They win and they became married. They became couple. And the young girl was supposed to be thrown away in the pit, live her life peacefully. Year after year, season changes, year after year, nothing was happening. The village stopped throwing away young women to the pit, and the young girl, was supposed to be the last one, have her own child, also young girl. And because everybody in the village was persuaded by this young hero how barbaric the village actually was, she was telling to her young girl, to her young child, oh, can you imagine how primitive and barbaric people in our village was? They throw away young women every year at the beginning of the spring in that empty dark pit, and they do not even know why. It was so crazy. Can you imagine live in society like that? You must be glad that I changed it. I was a hero and I changed it. And they was doing that because the society was evil and they do not know what they are doing. But they did know what they was doing. At least generations and generations ago, they knew. Because endless pit, the dark pit, actually lead to more darkest lair near the village. And in the lair there was monster living, sleeping there, the huge unstoppable dragon. And the dragon lived in the lair, unnoted by the world, because his desire was just sleep and sleep until the age of man ends. Nothing was bothering him, at least he didn't want to be bothered. And sometimes, some generations ago, some predecessor of the villagers actually knew that. And they would throw away young girl to the pit because they knew the dragon will woke up every spring. And when he will be noted by movement of that young girl in his lair, he woke up and he will eat her alive. And because he is living being as well, he needs to eat. But for years and years, after the female hero decided that throwing away a young girl in the dark pit was barbaric and nonsensical, nobody was throwing someone in the pit anymore. And Dragon was actually unaware of that. He was just sleeping and sleeping, but his body was eating alive itself. Without food, without that young girl every spring, the body became hunger and hunger. And it took years, even entire generation. Now the young female hero that's supposed to be thrown inside the pit have the young girl, almost adult woman as well. So it was almost entire generation. But the hunger eventually catch up the dragon, and the dragon woke up. With all this hunger, with his belly empty for so many years, he woke up with so much anger, so much hate, and he started to move in his lair, unable to find anything to eat. And he clove from the lair itself on the open air, spread his wings, and fly to the village. And do you know what happened next? The dragon burned down the village, burning everything, houses, people. He was killing everyone and everything, destroying everything what it stands in his way. He was killed eventually by the husband of female hero. But before he died, he actually killed by his fire or by devouring everybody, including young child, young girl of that first girl. And now the first girl was supposed to be thrown away in the pit and saved by that, saved by this, his own village, standing inside, buildings around her burning, everybody was dead. His beloved one have died with fighting with the dragon. Dragon died as well. Her own daughter was eaten by the dragon, and everybody in the village have died. But she remembered the tradition was so barbaric. It was nonsensical. Why throw away young girl in the pit? Because she do not know the devil's dragon. And don't think the dragon was evil. Dragon want to just sleep in his lair forever, or at least for the end of the era of humans. He just want a little bit of eat. And because it was inside of mountains, there was no animals which could be offered by people. And that's why ancestors of the village decide to throw away a person in his pit to fulfill his need, but also save the village. But then, after generation and generation, they all forgot. They all forgot why they are doing that. And then suddenly some stupid young girl came and decided and persuades all of them that they're supposed to stop that. And that leads to destruction of them all. Dragon destroy village. Everybody died. And the dragon was enslaved at the end. This is tragedy of hidden dragon.